Good evening, everybody. So, I just want to bring up something. I'm not making fun of Kylie Jenner. I'm just bringing something up. I just want to make a point. It says, Kylie Jenner has ruined relationship with Timothy Chalamet. I want to bring something up. I just, for the life of me, it's just so interesting about how I make sure I keep my receipts. It's so exciting. I was a photography major, or you could just say video major. You know Kodak. You know Kodak, don't you, Kim? Don't you? You just love to just. What is this? Is this a vendetta? Is that what this has been about? You and your relatives have had problems with my relatives for a very long time. Your relatives, your mother likes to tell my relatives, and I'm saying this, and I hope your cousins hear this. Your relatives like to tell my parents or my relatives what to do. The Gita and Gardner family are older than your relatives. Much older. Much older. I have no problem. I'm just telling you this. With this phone identification. I have no problem. I'm a member of the medical board. I'm just going to just say this outright. President Trump and Biden put me under the medical board. I want my stuff back. Do you know why I want my stuff back? I want to take your relatives that are in New York here, and I want to put them in a psychiatric facility. I want to put them in a psychiatric facility because they're out of their freaking mind. You're going against the old ways. And people like Rabbi Memphis Friedman, or Mark Rubenstein's relatives, do not like intimidation and bullying. I keep my receipts. I don't play your games. Your relatives, you're in Yahweh's jurisdictions. You're in Elohim's jurisdictions. You're not in charge anymore. When you play forbidden games and you try and play with death, you see this thing? This is a Reaper. This is a Reaper. I'm just making it sure. Reaper is an acronym. My relatives are the assassin order. Do you know what this is? This V term is the assassin order. We don't take orders. We give orders out. We're in charge. You're not in charge anymore. And I don't want to. By you trying to ruin people's careers. Now I'm gonna say this out loud. I'm just gonna say this. By you trying to ruin a career, you want to just ruin people's lives. You think that this is funny. Ruining people's lives. You think that this is hilarious. It's not hilarious.
Latest power couple, Kylie Jenner and Timothy Chalamet.
I'm not vindictive. But when you go after my relatives, you know where I take you? The medical board has a version of courts. I already took you to religious court. Religious court is in the United States. Zatar law has a thing like Sharia law. It's in the United States. So let me get that book. When I was in Harvard University, I studied Zatar law. I also studied Sharia law. It has to do with Abrahamic times. I studied it at Yeshiva and St. John's University. I became ordained as a priest and a rabbi. The rabbinic community, the priesthood community, they had me go through the whole amount of courses. You're not winning this. None of you people are going to win this because you're ultimately going to lose. You know what I did? You know what? I'm just going to bring this up because I want to bring this up. During this pandemic, I took these candles. I put them in a little bowl, and I started praying for my relatives. Because my relatives went through pain and suffering their entire life. No help whatsoever. I prayed for both sides. But I don't like, there's one thing that my relatives do not like, and that is lying. Your relatives lied. You lied on a sheet of paper. You committed what they call haram or a sin. You don't lie. You don't manipulate. No such books. You know what you did to the Muslim people that drives me up a wall? The Vatican, your relatives, manipulated this book. You know how much of an insult it is? And not only did you do it to that book, you did it to this book as well. You think that this is a joke. I don't find it a joke. I don't appreciate bullying. And that guy, Yahshua Mashiach's relative, who's Joshua's relative, who's Joseph, and my real grandfather was John, who's Elohim. That's my grandfather. Those people don't play games. When you test their patience, they take the weight of the universe. They are master creators. I'm telling you this. They take the weight of the universe and they smash things. They did it a long time ago. Your relatives tried to play stupid games with this ball and this Saturn and this Venus, Neptune, Pluto, whatever false deity you worship. They all got smited. I'm like a version of Gideon or what you call Elijah or Ezekiel or Abraham. I don't play games. When you test people's patience, when you lie on a phone call or a video conference or in court, you're not going to last. They're going to find you and they're going to put you in prison. And most of those cases, they found you relatives criminally insane.